Good.
Are we live?
Think so.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Dave and I are in the Arava Desert live.
It's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night live in the desert, y'all. I mean, this is how wonderful is technology. One of the things that I wanted to tell people, and you may not know this, they may know it already, but I will say that whenever the first telegraph was sent, way back when, go Google the date, I don't know it, not you, but they can. This young girl wrote back an answer, and her answer was from the Torah. Did you know that? She quoted from the book of Numbers, and she said, "What hath God wrought?" So I think that it's interesting that you and I are sitting in the midst of a very, very significant place, and we're going to talk about that. That we're sitting actually within a few feet of what was an ancient Judean fortress. You know, right out here. Dave, you know this. We've been leading tours. I mean,
I got a Hebrew word, Ross.
What is it?
We're on top of a tail.
We're on top of a tail. Dave and I, now don't get nervous, but Dave and I are going to be fluent in Hebrew. Well, not fluent, but we'll know a few words.
I'll know a word.
So that's amazing, Dave. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Look, it's actually Shavua Tov for us, which means a good week, because honestly, it's no longer Shabbat here. Dave and I can go start a fire in the sukkah because it's Saturday night. We're 8 hours ahead of our normal home. And by the way, I see notes about acoustics. How does it sound all over the world? Is it okay? Because we are in a very interesting place. Let's tell them where we're at, first of all. Yeah. I saw James Swanson wrote on the message a minute ago that he wanted to know if the touring was over and did we have a good report. Earlier in the week, one of the things that Dave said was very significant. He made this point. He said that one of our true missions is to report back to the people that are depending on us to give a good report.
We came here to look.
We came here to look around, and we want to report to our friends. So hopefully people understand. They say reverb is huge, but good loudness. So, okay, so we get what we get. We'll try to adjust it, but we don't want to lose you.
That's right.
So this site it's got great significance historically. There are archaeological discoveries that go back to the 10th century before the Common Era, and all the way up into the modern period. We have things from the Roman period. We have things that come all the way up into the British period. We're sitting right now, it looks like we're in jail.
Within what, 30 or 40 or 50 steps you can just go through.
Oh, absolutely. We have behind us jail cells. You'll notice that the bars in the window. Dave and I didn't get in trouble yet, as far as I know. We're not in jail. We're actually in what was a British Mandate period building. The British occupied this from 1919 until 1948. And it was like a police station, a military post, and this was an office for the officers as well as a jail. So if you got in trouble here, you get put in here. And Dave, if somebody gets in trouble here, we're going to put them in here.
I was trying to figure out if it's trying to keep people in or out.
In or out, maybe.
But I mean, it's on top of a hill. Excuse me. It's on top of a tail. Now, how do you spell that tail?
T-E-L.
T-E-L.
T-E-L. Yeah, the wall of honor, if you will, of people that are very Zionistic and pro-Israel throughout the history. We thought it would be appropriate to put behind us someone that most of you know, being associated with United Israel. So what you have is, they're saying we're frozen. That's two. That's two. Okay. So behind us, we're videoing this. If we lose you, we'll have to come back.
That's right. I'm going to move this away from that power source over there.
All right, let me try something here. I'm going to close out a few things and see if that doesn't help. Move that closer. All right, so hopefully that makes it a little bit better. So one of the things that we want you to know is that David Horowitz has taken a place on this wall. And around the room, you'll notice that there are biographies, short biographies, that are written up from each of these people, or of each of these people, over certain periods of time. And now, once the British left, a certain man settled here. We're going to talk about him later in the week. But one of the things that we know about this particular place.
Yeah, I'm going to turn this off for you, Ross, so you don't see that.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, I'm getting distracted, so I'll let you watch.
Talk a little slower.
Okay. So we're in the desert in Israel, and this particular site was taken by a rabbi by the name of Simcha Perlmutter. And Simcha established a kibbutz, and the kibbutz was known as Ir Ovot. And so the building that we're now in became a synagogue, and that's what he used it for. This was the synagogue that he used. And one of the things that we thought about as we looked around the place and we wanted to know what's the best place to set up. I mean, it's nighttime, so it would make it a little bit difficult to do an outside shoot that we could. We could set up lights and all, but we thought,
in fact, we
might do that in a little while. We might walk around and check out some of the sites around. But we felt like it was appropriate and sort of tying together all these historical elements. We have David Horowitz behind us, right over our shoulder, as if he's looking down with approval on what we're doing. He's
rolling his eyes. What is God wrought?
Yeah. Technology is indeed an amazing thing. One of the things that I wanted to tell you about, Dave, you were here, so I'm going to tell them about it. We had an interesting visitor. We've had interesting visitors almost every week, or almost every day. We've only been here. This concludes
every hour.
Every hour, we've had a lot going on. We're going to tell people about that. But to me, and just to me, probably one of the most significant visitors was one of the first visits. And I want you to think back, because I'm gonna tell them the story about Yehuda. So we're working in the date palms. Dave and I are working in the date palms, and we're perfecting how we're going to trim these date palms.
Getting our technique and our tools.
Yeah.
All
we tried a bunch of things.
These things have thorns on them this big.
That's right. That's right. You don't just jump into this job. I mean, you'll lose an eye. Dave has constantly told me, be careful, let's do this safely. So I learned how to do it safely. And we were taking a load of the fronds to throw them away. And a car with a man and a woman stopped us. And we began talking to him. And this man, clearly an Israeli, with a heavy Israeli accent, said, after our hellos, he said, you know this song? Yes, this song? And I said, no, I don't even speak Hebrew that well, you know, and he kept on that.
He asked the most rhetorical question I've ever heard anybody ask Ross. Do you have a Bible?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Do you have a Bible?
Do I have a Bible? So it was really interesting, but he was very insistent that I sing this song.
Yeah,
and he said, do you know it? Do you know it? I said, no. And he all but took my hand. We walked into the dining facility.
We're in the middle of the desert.
We're on the road. So as we go into the dining facility, he tells us that 25 years ago, he had been to this very place and he met a man, and he said, I can't remember his name. And I said, was it Simcha Perlmutter? He said, yeah, that's him. So we go into the dining facility and I go get my Bible, and I couldn't recognize the words that he was using because I'm not fluent in, I know the Bible in English.
You had a heavy accent.
So he calls his son. He calls his son and he tells us, I can hear him in Hebrew, he's saying, where in the Bible is this particular passage? And he says, Isaiah, Yeshua. So he opens up my Bible to Isaiah 35, and he's excited. He finds the place where it says.
Now he'd been searching for this for a good 30 minutes now.
It was a while.
And you could tell he was getting a little concerned.
Yeah, he knew it was there, but he didn't know where.
It has to be in the Bible.
And I felt helpless because here I am, supposedly a Bible man, and I didn't recognize. He kept saying, Yesasum, midbar, vetseah. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't help you. So we tried to do a search for it on my computer, and at any rate, he finally gets a hold of his son. So you've seen the video, most of you by now, but I'm going to show you that I can sing the song now. Is this okay?
Do I have to sing?
You don't have to.
Okay.
You can, but you don't have to.
I can hum?
You can hum. Don't get me off key though, because I practice this.
Just go softly.
Okay.
You ready? You don't have to really have a booming voice.
Okay. All right, you ready? Yesasum, midbar, vetseah. Vatagel, tagel, arava. Vatifrak, kahavatzelet. Vatifrak, kahavatzelet. Ki nivkeu bamidbar ma'im halim ba'arava. Ki nivkeu Bamidbar ma'im halim ba'arava. Now that passage, I apologize that I got off a little bit there.
You're reading in Hebrew also.
That's right. We're going to try it again. I'm going to try it again.
Okay.
I'm going to go again. So that way
we have a saying in Louisiana. You see a frog jump.
All right, you ready? Yesasum, midbar, vetseah. Vatagel, tagel, arava. Vatifrak, kahavatzelet. Vatifrak, kahavatzelet. Ki nivkeu bamidbar ma'im halim ba'arava. Ki nivkeu bamidbar ma'im halim ba'arava. Now, he told us, that was a little bit better. I'm not saying it was great, but it was closer. The thing that got me was that he began to say that when he came 25 years ago with his son, he sang this very song and danced with Simcha. And he began to tell the story about what it means. And you and I heard the story. Most of you know that Isaiah 35 is very significant. What makes it even more significant is not just that it's one of these great prophecies of Yeshayahu, but as he put it, Yeshayahu, Isaiah, looked into the future and he saw not just any area, but this area right here, right where we are tonight.
You can see it on the man's face.
He was so excited. And he said, you need to know it's like the desert is pregnant. He kept saying, the desert is bursting. He said, literally, rivers will burst out of the ground. Now, we were just, you could tell on his face, but it was so interesting. He's a big guy. But he kept stressing. He said, you must sing this song. You must sing this song. So I've been walking around the park and in my head at least singing this song over and over and over, because I believe, like this particular man, that Isaiah 35 will come to pass, and specifically in this area. So I just wanted to take a minute. We have a few minutes, don't we?
Yes, yes.
I mean, this is the first encounter.
We have, I think, let me see, 14 days?
14 days.
14
Okay.
days.
Yeah, we just completed our first.
You back to work?
This is my work, baby. Isaiah 35. By the way, Dave and I decided we were going to do this sort of a report from the land. And in a few moments, I want Dave to help tell the story of everything. I just wanted to kick it off, and Dave said, please do, because it's going to set the pace for what we do tonight. This is an English translation. I'm reading from the Koran Hebrew, the English translation produced in Jerusalem. And it says, the wilderness and the arid land shall be glad. That's the Yesasum, Isaiah 35:1.
Isaiah 35:1.
And the desert shall rejoice and blossom like the rose. Now that's, you reckon that? Look, get a drink. Get it. Blossom like the rose. Can people read that?
I think so.
Okay. Blossom like the other side. There you go. Yeah, it's not helpful. The desert shall rejoice and blossom like the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice, even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given to it, the excellency of Carmel and the Sharon. They shall see the glory of Hashem and the excellency of our God. Strengthen the weak hands, confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even with a divine recompense. He will come and save you. Now listen to this. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as a hart, and the tongue of the dumb shall sing. Because, this is the second line of the song, Ki nivka'u, because, for in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert, and the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. The habitation of jackals shall become a pasture for cattle, an enclosure of reeds and rushes. Now, if I were to be quiet, which it's hard to do, you'll hear next to us here, to the east, there's a highway. Now, this highway wasn't there in its present form.
But it was a highway.
There was a way, right? It says, and a highway shall be there. Where? Right there, David. Right there. North, it runs north to south. And a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it. He shall be to them a guide, and fools shall not err in it. No lion shall be there. I'm glad to read that. Nor any ravenous beast shall go up on it. They shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there, and the ransomed of Hashem shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Now it came to pass, and then it begins chapter 36. The significance of this passage and this man showing up, literally, while we were working in the fields, I thought about this thing in Amos where he said, I'm not a prophet. I was tending the sycamore trees. We're taking care of the date palms. And then, yeah, I would have driven right by the guy. But you said, stop, let's talk to this guy.
Well, you know, he was coming at us, and it's a dirt road. And I didn't want to dust his car in that little car we had. So I pulled off to the side and stopped.
And it turned out that just by taking the time, which we learned that day.
Well, we could have just blown right by.
Oh, yeah, we could have went and dumped our date palms and went and got another batch. But we took the break, and I'm glad that we did, because Isaiah 35 is so incredibly moving because it's so specific. It talks about every word that's used for the dry, the desert region, the arid land.
There's so much of it.
It's right. I mean, we're smooth in the middle of the desert. And I think one of the things that we're going to do in the coming days is we want to make some video footage of this region, because it's where the redemption begins. In Isaiah 40, for instance, and we've talked about this one day, in Isaiah 40, it says, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, comfort ye, my people. Isaiah 40 says, Kol Koreh Bamidbar, a voice is crying in the desert. See, we're not only in the desert, we are in the specific region of the redemption. Now, just to let them know, you and I, we're going to walk out in a few minutes, and we're going to point. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but if you'll come here with me, it'll be very, very clear. We're literally looking across the highway. I don't know how many kilometers it is, but it's not.
It's hard to tell. It's a mountain.
It's a mountain.
Far away.
But on the side of the mountain are a couple of sets of lights where people live. And we got the map out the other day, and we literally oriented it with a compass, and we're able to find Basra, which is in the ancient kingdom of Edom.
It's not. We don't just see the light, over the horizon. We see the actual light.
It's on the hill.
We can see the light.
Yeah, you can't hide it. I mean, it's right there. And in Isaiah 63, it talks about this one who comes from Basra, from Edom, with garments dyed from Basra. So look, you're not reading this. We're not reading this in Louisiana. We're here. And you can say, open up your Bible to to Isaiah 60. Look, it's right there.
Right.
Now, when we talk about the Arava, I want people to understand the significance. The Arava in plural is used quite a few times in the Hebrew Bible, but it's not generally transliterated, meaning you don't recognize the word because it's often translated as plains, the plains. So for instance, when Moses and the children were in the plains of Moab, it's Aravot Moab. Look, it's right there.
It's right there.
Like they were right
I
there.
can look out the window and see it.
You could see, if the children of Israel were here right now, you could say, look at all those people. What in the world is that? Look, they're all right there in the plains of Moab, the Aravot Moab.
They're like ants.
They're like ants. They're like grasshoppers to us. But it's not that far. So you could see, we can make out the cars as they travel on the highway. So whenever you think about this particular place, it literally is the region of the redemption. So because we're here and because we're engaged in working in this particular area, it makes these texts come to life. Just to kind of give people an idea. If you look at a map of Israel, all the way down what's called the Jordan River, the Jordan River flows, from up north into the Kinneret, the Sea of Galilee, and then it flows from the bottom of the Sea of Galilee, the southern part, all the way into the Dead Sea, and then I say flow, it's not a river like we think of in Louisiana, but and then it goes into the Dead Sea, and then on the bottom of the Dead Sea, it flows all the way down into a lot at in the Red Sea, right? So at the Gulf of Aqaba and all. Now, the middle, this place that I'm describing, is actually you were telling me about this rift, this great African rift.
Plate tectonics.
Yep. And it goes from, I looked this up, it goes from Turkey in the north to Mozambique, all the way down into Africa. And what we basically have are three regions within this rift in the land of Israel. In the north, you have what's called the Jordan Valley. And then as you flow down, you come into this Dead Sea region. Now we're specifically in that area lower than the Dead Sea.
It's sunken.
Yeah, the Dead Sea is actually sunken more. But if you come here, what we have is this region we're in is specifically referred to as the Arava. So when we read in Isaiah, sometimes translations might say the desert region or what the wilderness.
The wilderness. That's what I was raised.
Wilderness, yeah. And it is a wilderness. But specifically, it's Arava. One of the things that we're going to do while we're here is we intend to do this. We don't know. We may be so busy meeting important people. There's no telling.
But Dave Dollar is here.
Dave Tyler. All right. Hello, Dave. Yeah. But we're going to go from, let me tell people where we're at if they look at a map. We're about midway between Jerusalem and Eilat. And if you look at a map, if we were to drive north for about 2 hours, we'd be in Jerusalem. If we were to go south from here, about 2 hours, we'd be in Eilat. Now, to our west is Beersheba. So we could run over to Beersheba, and it sounds like that's going to be, we came through Beersheba. We did. So, but we're going to travel around, and one of the things that we're going to do, our intention is to make videos of these different places on location, sort of thing. And we may not be able to go live there, although Facebook Live has worked. But what you thinking you might have figured something out just tonight?
I think so. And we'll hold that.
We'll hold that. Don't tell them.
It might not work.
It might not. But we know we can do Facebook Live.
And I know we can actually step out of this room in a moment if we so choose and try to get and just see what happens. Because this
is a test.
This is a test. It's not rehearsed.
No, you can tell that.
You know, to be honest, we did kind of try to rehearse the night, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out how it is that we can best serve the people who are listening that are all over who haven't had the privilege.
Just wait till next week.
Oh, we're going to be on a roll. So Dave commented, let me jump in real quick. Dave commented about the first historic flight of the F-35s. We did. We didn't rehearse that either. That'll raise the hair on your back.
I don't know if you can
No.
Okay. The first one that came over, when we got here.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a tractor.
Yeah.
It took me an hour to get this tractor even started.
Yeah.
We hooked this big, huge trailer to it. We were going to haul equipment and stuff because the supervisor that we relieved was still here.
Yeah.
So he's riding the back of the trailer, and I'm driving the tractor down this hill and up this hill and down this hill and through.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, and I'm listening to this engine in this tractor, and I'm a little.
You're trying to make sure everything's okay.
If I hear anything, I want to be able to know. All of a sudden, that tractor just blew up. The noise.
It sounded like it did.
Well,
I'm scared. Dwayne might be listening.
No, Dwayne's good. The tractor's good.
Okay.
I thought the tractor blew up. You know, the motor. I thought it had mechanical.
Because of the noise.
Yeah, because of the noise, the rumble, the sound. I shut it off. Completely. Because you can do that. It's safe sometimes. I shut off and looked back at Alan, and he just smiled at me because he's off the scene.
Yeah.
And the military aircraft was probably 100 feet over my head, just right over.
They come low here.
Long story short, I thought the tractor was gone.
That's right.
So that was an F-35.
Yeah, they're doing this flight. So I appreciate it. Sherry mentioned take some honey and lemon juice. I'm cutting fresh lemons and drinking. Absolutely. So we'll tell you what's going on with that because that's another story. But so while we're traveling around, if you go out the driveway, don't turn right to go to 90. Turn left. And we're going to be, if we do that, we're going to be on what's called Ma'aleh Akrabim, the ascent of the scorpion. Now, that place is mentioned in the Bible.
I'm going to check the air pressure in the car.
And we're going to go and we're going to drive this route for you because when the children of Israel were going through the wilderness, they took this very spot. People are going to see, literally, we're going to drive the route with them. And I want to do this live. So that they can pick this up, and I think it's going to be quite a bit of excitement going on when we do these videos. So we're going to do the Scorpion's Ascent. There are a couple of wonderful craters here in the land of Israel, in the Arava, not very far.
I'm so excited about going and seeing these things.
Oh man, I have to see it.
Raw. Yeah,
I've been talking about them. Yeah, because when you think about, we're right here. We're not that far from these places. You what?
We could probably see him from his tail.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
that's
like
right.
using that word.
I like that you use that word. See, you're picking up Hebrew. It's just coming to you. It's like when you go to sleep at night, you wake up. This is probably the third day that you've been using that word, which I think is fabulous.
I had to look it up.
But you got it now.
Got it.
And Dave actually was walking some people on a tour today, and he was telling them about the tail. Yeah. So you got this. So we're tour guides now.
Unofficial.
Unofficial. But we're all they have right now, so we have to do it. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit, but before I do, I'll just say I can't stress enough. I'm going to do a teaching on the wilderness instead of just a report like we're doing now. More of a when we're standing out in the wilderness, you turn the camera on and let me just, because I want to be a voice crying in the wilderness, do that. But Hosea chapter 2, I'm thinking of different Hosea chapter 2. I'm thinking of in Ezekiel chapter 20, it talks about bringing these people, the children of Israel from all nations, into the wilderness and causing them to pass under a rod. Remember in Isaiah 35, it said that those that aren't righteous don't get in. There's a waypoint here in the wilderness. You have to pass under and be, yes, you can go in, no, you can, that kind of thing. So shifting gears, but keeping with the theme of the desert. Jeremiah chapter 9. Jeremiah had at times some very difficult times because he had a tough job. He had to go to a people who didn't listen and so forth. And one of the things that he said was, there are days, Dave, this is Jeremiah, where I just want to go to the wilderness and set up a hotel for wayfaring men. And I can't tell you, for many, many years, I've thought about that passage. I love Jeremiah. In that particular passage, when I fell in love with the desert, I said, it'd be nice to have a desert in the wilderness. Well, guess what? We're hotel managers in the desert now.
Exactly right.
So over the past week, we've only been here a week, we've entertained certain guests. And I just wrote a list, and we're going to talk a little bit about it.
Sure.
The first group that we had officially, when we got picked up on Saturday, right?
Yeah. Let's backtrack a little bit.
Well, we're going to lead into it. So
Okay.
Saturday, we got to the airport.
Yeah.
Well,
It was late.
Late.
We were supposed to get there 9-ish in the morning.
9:30 in the morning.
We got there like noon or 1. I can't recall. But
Yeah, it was later.
It was 4 hours later than we thought. They had to double check, which is good. They double checked our airplane.
Right. Yeah, and we wanted them to.
Yeah.
We wanted them to do that.
So Alan, the supervisor on duty at the time, picked us up.
Yeah.
And he was there. He was waiting.
He waited and waited, and we got on.
And he also was informed that we were going to be late, so it gave him 4 hours to go do a little touring and checking some cafes and stuff, which he's been wanting to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, he picked us up.
So he picks us up. We're coming back, and we go from the airport. It's about 2 hours from the airport to here.
Yep.
And we're headed back, and he tells us we thought we were going to have just all kind of time to do a few chores, but run around the country.
Knock the cobwebs off.
Yeah. And what did he say? We have a group coming tomorrow.
30.
And I said, but what? I didn't. We didn't know about that. And he said, yeah, it's a group of young guys.
Not just any group.
No, it's a group. It's called a mechinah, which is a Hebrew word for preparatory, kind of like in the Israelis, what they have is they have these, after you graduate from high school, you join a mechinah, which prepares you for the military.
Is that a unit?
Yeah, it's like a sort of a unit. So this group of boys, young men, were going to go into the military in a few weeks, as I understand it.
17, maybe?
Yeah, they're 17, 18-ish. And some were a little bit older, but generally I'd say average they were 18 years old. And they show up, and they're here to work with an archaeologist with the Israeli Antiquities Authority at Biblical Tamar Park. Now remember, Biblical Tamar Park is considered one of the best maintained archaeology sites in all of Israel. So we got to meet the leader, the top man over the southern region in archaeology. His name is Jaime Yoram. And so Yoram was very nice. We got along with him great.
And he had his assistants with him.
Yeah, Chaim and some of those guys. So the Israeli Antiquities Authority loves Dave. I mean, we're friends with both of them, but I'm friends on Facebook with Jaime Yoram now. Hopefully he's watching. Hello, Yoram, if you're watching. So we met him. We met Tally Erickson. And what were you doing with them? Because I was doing you were moving dirt or
yeah, the tractor comes back into play.
Yeah.
We had to set before. Let me go back just a little bit.
Go ahead.
Before they arrived, the day before, Alan was getting ready to leave, but we had to set up a mortar mixer. We had to set up electricity for the mortar mixer. We had to.
This is our first day here.
Yeah, we weren't even slept yet.
Yeah.
We had to set up a water supply for them. And then guess what? They said, Dave, can you find some sand?
Yeah.
So I had to go get the tractor. That was why I had to get it started.
Yeah.
Go get them some sand. So what I'm saying is we had to do a prep before they got here.
Mm-hmm. And you did a great job because you got to where you anticipated their needs. You were either lucky or good. I don't know which, but it worked out great.
I had some training in that. Sherry.
Yeah, Sherry trained you on be ready for the job. So Dave would go the evening when they would knock off and get dirt or sand and bring it over so that they could mix and make mortar. A lot of people don't know this, but whenever you're working in these sites, there are a couple of different things going on. One thing that's going on is you have restoration, and where they're actually walls where the rocks have fallen over, they're putting them back. So you need to make up mortar that looks authentic. The other side of the archaeology project is conservation.
That's right.
So this tell has a lot of archaeology opened up.
360 degrees.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah. We're sitting on top of under the tell. Who knows what's underneath us?
Don't ask.
But what we did was we would come in, we would get things set up, and then the other side of that conservation piece. This archaeologist who's over the area, Jaime Yoram, says, we can't leave all this exposed. We've documented it well. We've taken photos. We have drawings. We need to fill up some of this.
And that's hard to do.
It's hard.
Because I've had to remove sand before.
And Dave said, he told me off privately, he said, I understand. Can you imagine being the one that dug the hole out and to see someone, but this is what they did. So you had both ways
to cover so future generations down the road, they know what's there, can pull it up and see it.
That's right.
If they leave it exposed to the elements, it's liable not. So yeah.
Yeah. So we did that. We worked closely with those guys. We did various things this week. If you think about it, we've worked on date palms.
Yeah. Dave
has got the tractor, a tune up on the tractor. It's running really well now.
It wouldn't start.
Yeah.
And then when we got it to where it would start, we'd crank up.
Yeah.
Almost said crunk.
Yeah. But you're trying to be polished.
I'm trying to be right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just.
So we got that done.
Everything was a struggle. It seemed like everything I touched, I had to fix.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're here.
Not that things were in disarray.
No,
don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of things that I haven't had to touch.
But you're good at. So think about the blessing. And this is why I wouldn't have come if you couldn't have come. I mean, because really, you do things. We talked about it earlier. I can do things that you can't, though I don't know what those are. You can do things that I can't do. So the tractor, you got it running.
And even the things I don't like to do, you seem to like to do, and vice versa.
Yeah. Although I think that dishwashing thing, I think you're just playing me for stupid on that.
That's Sherry.
Okay.
I'll put her a new dishwasher here before.
So one thing, just to let you know, in this wilderness experience, when we got here, they told us there's a mule, like a four-wheeled vehicle. They told us it doesn't really run that well. Two people can't ride it.
Yeah, absolutely. No people. Two people. One person can barely get it going.
Now that thing.
It was sitting there on the flat. And I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because they don't know.
Look, but I tell you what, though, it's running now. we've done some good there. So I guess we're just saying that we want to give back to this great organization, Blossoming Rose, and in the meanwhile, we're providing good things. We're providing good things for the people that run this place. So what I wanted to do is just kind of run through. If you think about it, can they see it?
Yeah, James, it's artificial lighting in here, and the sensors on this camera. This is a laptop.
Yeah,
is picking up and then shutting down, so it's alternating back and forth. Sometimes if you move it out and then darken it, it'll really brighten up really nice. And sometimes it don't. So keep talking.
Okay.
It was nice. It was nice. We can see that. Yeah, we know. We can see it.
So, but we've had, throughout the week, we've had the opportunity to, I think, do some service work. You know, we talk about how the Torah teaches about listen, learn, guard, and do. And there are a lot of things going on here at Biblical Tamar that we've been able to help with. And one of those things is, you know, we have a sister organization, basically, that works in conjunction. They're independent, but we've sort of teamed up with Lance and Lloyd with the group called The Good Land. We're going to be doing some soil testing. We're working with compost. We're working with worms, vermiculture. So we have some things going on with that we're doing. But at the same time, we're taking care of the grounds and keeping. But here's what hits me. What hit me is that you can't just do a work list here because we'd be finished by now.
No.
That's not what happens.
No.
You wake up in the morning, and we're up early. I mean, we're up 6:30 most days.
I mean, we slept in this morning. We got
a little bit. Yeah, 6 o'clock. But we want to catch the sunrise.
I want to try something.
And we want to catch the sunset. Dave's going to try some things with the lighting. That's worse. I think
let's just see for a second.
All right. So
sometimes these lights will do that. Let's see if it brightens up and stays bright.
All right.
Let's see.
So now I'm distracted.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Not you. I'm just thinking about other things like, oh, what do we do here? Yeah, it may be that we forget them. Yeah. So basically, though, we've got a lot going on. We can't stay focused on a work
list. It's not you, James. I was concerned about it earlier.
Because what we see is that people show up, interesting people, like Yehuda, who shows up and says, "You must sing this song. You must sing this song," and we begin to sing the song. So the other thing is that I was going to talk about a little bit is the different groups that we have here. All right, so let's talk about this group from the military. We bonded with those guys, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Made friends with them?
Yeah, it's, you know, you say they love you, but actually they love that tractor.
They did, and the camera. They love the camera.
They love the camera and the tractor.
Yeah.
Because they had the wheelbarrow and shovel hundreds of yards without it.
Yeah.
And they didn't want, they actually did that for a little bit, because I had to stop and do something else.
Right.
So they run out of sand that I'd given them, and so they had the wheelbarrow. So you can imagine an hour later, they drive up with a tractor. They love the tractor.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
The other thing they loved is that they loved your camera and they liked being on camera.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we also learned about these young Israelis is that a lot of them have a program called Lech Lecha.
Yeah.
Now, you know that word. It's from the Torah, where Abraham says to walk for yourself. Genesis chapter 12, it's that Torah reading. Now, what was significant about this is we asked them, what is this program about? Because they were talking about it. And they said these graduates also sort of begin to identify what is it that you want to do when you grow up.
Right.
And one of them, he said he wanted to be a redneck when he grew up.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And he said he wanted the truck, and that's what he wanted to do, was train with rednecks. So he thought of us as,
Go on now.
you especially.
That's no problem.
Yep.
That was great.
But it was a good
He
relationship.
actually said, teach me to be a redneck. Teach me to be a redneck. I've never had anybody do that.
That's right. Yeah, you'll see videos of some of this stuff as we go.
Teach me to be a redneck.
So we had this group, they're called Mekina Shahar, which is, it's the Preparatory of the Dawn. That was their name. And we posted a video of them.
That's
You know,
right.
doing the song.
Oh,
and they
we're
left.
working
They're
on
working
it.
on a bigger one.
Now, they were here for 3.5 working days, actually 4 days, but 3.5 working days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, about midday, part-time, they left. So we had our hands full.
That's right.
Because not only did they work during the day, they needed, you know, this or that, but at night, they just wanted to come talk.
That's right.
You know, they wanted to come mingle and show off a little bit of English that they knew.
And help with Hebrew, you know, we've been working that way too. So that was amazing. I love the fact that they, you know, many of these guys friended us on Facebook. And so we developed relationships with Israelis.
Yeah.
And it was special. And it's happened every day. So if we run down the list of people we met, let's call these.
Ooh. We could try. No.
What? Oh, I thought you were
Run down the
talking
list of
something
people
on-
we met.
yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
But I'll just start with that group, the major, you know, the major ones, because I don't think we can even, I mean, I'm trying to record it, but I've got papers written in different places and we need to take a day. I thought we could do it on Shabbat, but we had people show up today. So here's the thing. When we got here, there's a young lady here, a young lady here by the name of Tara.
Yeah.
And Tara is a very interesting person. She's in her mid-30s probably, and she has been backpacking. She wants to backpack around the world. So she came and ended up at Biblical Tamar, but we're going to do an interview with her and get her story because it's so unique. She's away she went to tour Jerusalem today, and I think a couple more days, 5 days maybe.
Yeah.
And
He was
then
just
she'll
here
be
the
coming
first
back.
day or so.
Yeah.
We were here. Yeah.
But we got to know that was an interesting person. And then we met Yehuda, and we had this young, go ahead.
Offer.
Yeah. Tell them about the crocodile.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you can do a better job at that, but within sight here, I don't know, 500 yards away, walking distance, there's a crocodile farm. So they really got me thinking, what's up with this crocodile farm very close by in Ophir? I have Ophir is the man's name. A big fella. Now he's gone around, he's a conservationist. He has gone around in the last 25 or so years all over the world, specifically Africa, the Nile area, and he has captured an almost extinct creature that the villagers in the areas he went to were scared of because these crocodiles had harmed their family members and so forth.
Right.
But instead of getting rid of them like they had been doing, he captured them and brought them and rehabilitated these things.
Yeah, he's introducing them back.
So he's not doing anything else with them. No,
we're
not hide.
We're going to interview him. I don't know the whole story, but we're going to go interview him.
I'll spend a little time with him.
2,000 crocodiles.
2,000 crocodiles.
And it's a
Right
mile.
there. We don't have to
If
worry
a
about
mile.
that stuff. If anybody comes to get us on, it'll be from this side. It won't be that side.
Joe Dale, I see what you're saying. 100 people have told us to
Yeah.
keep a journal.
We can't even.
When I tell you there is no way on earth,
I got a clipboard. Today.
we're trying. We can't, I'm getting excited because I know what I want to do, but there are times when we're running back and forth in between getting rooms ready, shuffling people around, people showing up, wanting to sing Isaiah 35 with us, date palms. Anyway,
You name it.
I hear you.
You can't keep up with it.
I hear you. I would love to. Now, we do have a pad where we've written down.
And I've taken photographs.
Yeah.
And videos.
Use your phone. Joe Dell, we're trying. So we are going to.
Which one?
Here's an example. We are writing down in different places. We are documenting, but to publish it yet, understand it's going to be weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks before we can even keep up. We have, I don't know how how many hours of video do you think we have? There's no.
You really want to know?
No,
we have a lot. We have a lot.
And so what we have is we have not even had time to go in. We do have a journal on Facebook. You can follow it. But here's the thing: we're keeping, like, look at it now, and then later we can flesh it out.
We have what they refer to as raw data, raw footage.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of. We've been steady running. Our equipment is awesome.
Yeah,
we have some awesome equipment here. We just don't have the time to mess with it too much.
So
we have the raw data.
Like, it's so funny because we'll start out. We go into my room, generally in my room, because I have the Wi-Fi.
2 plugs.
And I have 2 plugs. And so Dave and I sit on the bed and we start working on a video, editing, and then ultimately you go in your room and continue to work on it. Then we pass out. And next morning, it's somebody else. So.
And you're doing the Facebook Live thing, and that's so quick and easy.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
So I'm just laughing because we do know that you can take notes, and we are, but it's a matter of publishing. We do. We need somebody to walk around with us. Now, also, if you go to our photo album, I'm posting those pictures, and I think some of the people are missing some of those because I don't know if they see them or if you have to go to the album to see it in order.
It's the internet's the internet, but I've had some glitches on some of my computers because of where I'm at. This one here thinks I'm still in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And even when we posted this event, they wouldn't let us do it because you have to do it in the future. You can't do it in the past.
Yeah.
Computer.
But that's tech stuff but we're trying to work through a lot of different. So here's the thing I wanted you to know. Today, I thought when we got up that we'd have a day off. Wait a minute, I missed it. See, back it up.
Yeah,
yesterday.
We haven't got the Wednesday yet. No.
Yeah. So yesterday, what day is it? Saturday?
Saturday. Well, it's Sunday.
Stay with us. Here we go. Back it up.
Wednesday.
Okay.
What happened?
So Alan left us on Tuesday, and we've been the supervisors here since Tuesday.
A day and a half basically with him.
Yeah. A couple of people came in,
and he was
busload, and he was busy because he's trying to leave. So he had to show us around quickly the first day or so.
I think he was pleased because, not to cut you off, but he wanted to make sure irrigation is very important.
That's right.
If they have a water leak, it costs them lots of money. Something's flowing out in the desert.
Yeah.
So I think he was real pleased that I kind of halfway knew about irrigation. I did.
Yeah.
I know a lot about irrigation.
Yeah. Oh, he was blown away.
I didn't know this.
Well, you actually knew how to program.
I knew how to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, because there's pipes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think, because he blew right through that.
That's right.
And I said, I understand this.
As soon as you would tell him I got that, he would leave it.
And I basically put the word in his mouth.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. I said, I got it.
So just to talk about that for a moment, because I want people to understand, we're not just here. I mean, we have to make sure that the trees here get water.
That's right.
Not too much, but enough. We have to make sure every day we do a tour in the morning and a tour in the evening where we go and look at every tree on this 55 acres. I mean, a lot of times we'll split up. You take the lower, I take the upper. We run, we check, we make sure. Yeah, I am. Are you? I trust you to do it, right? So, but we're doing that, and then, there are chores that we have to do. This is like we're running a 55-acre plant.
Unlock doors.
That's right.
Check this, check that.
So,
not complaining.
No, we love it. Now, let me tell you, on Wednesday, according to our journal, we saw the flags flying and standing out. And it was so cool. It was it was rippling, and I'm videoing the flag.
We should have known because one of our neighbors came over the day before and
got enough firewood for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. That should have teed us off a little bit.
We didn't know. So then
we didn't know.
Then we realized that while the wind was beautiful and a powerful sign that God is in the desert, the next thing we know, the sands begin to come. Now people are telling me drink lemon and honey, and so when you're in a sand, and we had work we had to get done, and you try to cover up, but it was heavy.
It's bad.
And so, yeah, in my eyes, and anyway, so I got stopped up a little bit from that. And what that causes, you know, without too much information, you sleep with your mouth open. And
people, the hair works.
Yeah, the beard. Dave was able to fold his beard up. So what we ended up doing was we survived the sandstorm, and that night, Wednesday night, a very light rain fell. It almost blacked out the sky when the sand was heavy. But once the rain came, it settled it down, and everything was okay. But here's what happened. So we didn't know that in some of these places, this building we're now sitting in, the wind blew the window open over here. And when it did, that sand filled this place up. So I had to clean this place up before we could ever do our class today. It was covered in sand.
Ross comes to me and says, Dave, have you seen a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, yeah, it's bad. So we got that. We got through the sandstorm. And in the meantime, they're talking about Lance and Lloyd. We've worked on the vermiculture side of things. We've added some things to the compost. We've stirred the compost, checked on our worms. All of these things are important if you're going to produce sustainable soil, right? And so we have to work. It doesn't just happen. You know, I mean, a miracle could happen, but that's not typically the way things work.
Good.
Man's very purpose is to guard and keep it.
We have the capacity to do some of that.
And you have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And we hope that Sherry can get engaged as well. I know Dwayne is interested in this. Sherry has a background in designing these sorts of, what would you call it? Just sort of the layout of the land. She might jump in.
Yeah, she could.
But just designing.
It's design.
And then you're the guy that puts the system in.
It's called design and build. That's what we do for a living.
She
designed it, I'll build it.
There you go. So we're hoping that United Israel might at one point be able to help Dave and Sherry get here together. And I'm just bringing that up because I think Dwayne wants to do that as well. So, but we have this wonderful place in the desert, and people show up.
Yeah.
It's like every day. I don't know how else to say it. Some of them. But we get an email. I got an email the other night, and it said, Ross, we have 4 Polish Bible students that are going to come in to the exhibit, the tabernacle.
And guess what?
It's covered in sand. Guess what?
Plexiglass. It's got a cover on it. It's new. Somebody spent a lot of time doing it. It's got an inch of sand all around it on it.
And they want to come look at it. And we know that there's been a sandstorm. They don't know that. So we figured, what's going to happen?
We went and looked at it, remember?
Yeah, and we thought, oh man, and you said,
you wanted to brush it off. You wanted,
if we put water on it,
we got to fix this. And I'm like, stop. I was concerned.
Yeah,
and I was wrong in some ways. We could have easily fixed it.
Yeah,
but I was a little concerned about that. So the consensus was these guys can fix it.
Well, and they came in.
They'll know what to do.
Each of these things that we're just hitting the high points. So when I talk about vermiculture or the worms, Aaron, we're going to come back.
They're learning well. I looked at them this morning.
But we're going to do a video segment on the worms and talk about that. We're going to do a video segment on the tabernacle display, and we're going to talk about that. So we're kind of hitting. Look at Derek thinks I don't know what he's saying. Derek, I want you to know I understand Polish. Spoko. Yeah. So they come in and we immediately hit it off. Now, I want to tell people just a snippet of this. When you say you're a Bible student, right, what does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah. I'm a Bible student, you're a Bible student, maybe a Catholic. Here. This guy, he's like me.
Yeah.
So he shows up and he said, I'm curious. Now, as a representative of Blossoming Rose, I don't
and he had a Dave.
Yeah, he did. I don't have the authority really to engage in what we would call, I'm not going to get into my beliefs. All right. But there's nothing that says I can't inquire a little bit about his. So I said, when you say Bible student, what does that mean? And he said, well, we're a very small group in Poland. His English is flawless. He said, we're a very small group. We are students of a man named Charles Taze Russell. And I said, I know Charles Taze Russell. Charles Taze Russell, David Horowitz behind me, wrote a book on Charles Taze Russell as a great Zionist. And we have copies of his book. So here we have a guy who comes in, and he is a student of Charles Taze Russell. And I said, well, David,
in the desert?
Yeah, in the desert. And I said, well, we are part of an organization, and the man that was the founder of United Israel wrote a book about Charles Taze Russell. And you know what he said? Yeah, I know David Horowitz. Yeah, I know of his book. Yeah. So this guy loves the Bible. He follows the Torah. He is seeking to find the ancient paths. Amazing story. Plus, he's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, now I'm letting the cat out of the bag. This is for our Polish friends.
He only had an hour.
Yeah, he only had an hour. 5 hours later, he said, we ate lunch together. Oh, he's a vegetarian, babe. Imagine that. So we sit down together. We eat vegetarian sandwiches. He brought lunch. We joined together with him. And one of the things that was amazing was I said, look, I have some friends, Derek and Anna, and they're Polish. And I want to do a skit. And he said, what do you want to do? Yeah, we set it up. You thought it was real. You thought I knew Polish? So we get out, and I said, all I want you to do is we're going to interview you, and I want you to just say, Anna and Derek Jakubowski, Dave and Ross are the greatest tour guides in the world. And he said, too boring. He said, let's play like we're driving up, and you walk out and you begin to speak Polish with me. And I said, that's going to be a little bit harder. And he said, no, we'll keep it simple. So we rehearsed, remember, over and over.
All they told me was set the camera up, Dave.
Set it up and film it. So anyway, that's how you got that video. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube or go to Facebook and watch it there. We hadn't put it on YouTube yet. But so this incredible group of Bible students came in. And then
what you don't know is I recorded y'all's rehearsal.
Yeah,
that's right. Real quick. I recorded it.
And you like that one better, I bet. The rehearsal was pretty funny too, but I was reading the words, and the gentleman, Daniel, said, you read it. You have to memorize it.
Can't have it.
So anyway, so we did the video, and then as if things weren't strange enough, we go to our rooms last night, and there's a knock at the door. No, I'm sorry. They didn't knock. I could hear someone walking around, and the dog was barking. So I walked out, and 3 young men are standing there out in the open area by the sukkah. And he said, oh, we were looking for you. And this guy introduces himself.
He's looking for Ross and that other guy.
Yep. And here's what he said almost immediately. I don't want to talk to you, Ross. Is it Dave? I said, yeah. He said, we grew up in the same area. We went to high school in the same place. Yeah. Here in the middle of the desert, Dave, a guy shows up.
I mean, we were a little bit part in age.
So. But it was interesting, though, because he's not just from Louisiana.
From North Louisiana.
He's from North Louisiana. And guess what he's been craving? Jodell, I want you to pay such close attention here. He asked us, do you have
community coffee?
And what did we say?
Yes.
Of course we do.
What?
Ochovistia.
And then?
Of course, Ochovistia.
And then Tabasco sauce.
And we had Tabasco.
Louisiana.
So you got up early this morning. I slept in. I was a little under the weather. You made coffee with the gentleman, and they left. And so then it's Shabbat. And we finally say, we're not going to, yuck. I know that, yuck. We thought that we would have a total day of rest. We get up, and I see a gentleman and his wife, I assume, walking towards me, And he says, hello. And I said, hello. And I walked up to him and he said, my name is Avi Shoket. Do you remember me? And I said, I'm sorry, I don't recall. And he said, he's a great friend of Dwayne's. And he begins to tell me that he is an Israeli, former Israeli ambassador to UNESCO. And he says that one of the things that he did when he was in that role was he helped to push through a recognition of an ancient spice route and an incense route. I did put this video up, so people need to go to our YouTube channel and see that. You were in there working. I didn't even bother you. So this guy shows up, this gentleman and his wife, and I said, he starts telling me this incredible story, and I said, can you stop and let me video this? He said, sure. So I videoed him, and he told the story about how not only is there an ancient spouse rite, an ancient incense route that runs through here, but Tamar was a very significant place on this route.
H.D. Smiley, I agree.
Yeah, that's it. This is amazing. We're only hitting the high points.
I've been telling Ross, what?
Yeah, what's next?
All the time.
It happens every day here. There might be someone waiting on us when we walk out of here. So just to kind of wrap this story up, this gentleman tells this story, and he said, also, I want you to read something. Now, when someone in the desert tells you, read something, it's significant.
Sure.
He said, Kings A, which means first Kings. The Hebrew people are Kings Aleph. Yeah. So he said, read Kings A, chapter 10. And there's a story there about King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. The Queen of Sheba hears of Solomon's great wisdom, and she wants to come see. So her entourage comes up from Sheba. Guess where? Right here. Biblical Tamar.
Dave and Ross's bed and breakfast.
But Dave and Ross's bed and breakfast.
Wilderness adventure.
That's right. And so he says that they have evidence of the time. It's not significant yet. They want to get further information from this time period here at this site, and they're going to be looking forward to this kind of thing. So we're going to talk about some of these specific time frames over the coming days and so forth. Let's see. But he's one of the ones, as I said, that helped to get this recognized as a very significant point. You can watch that video.
He came here to visit today.
He was hoping that Dwayne would be here.
Right.
He said, I thought maybe Dwayne just might be here. And I said, well, no, but we're friends with Dwayne. And so we made friends with him. It's every day, sometimes more than once a day, people show up. James points out, when Jeremiah is heading to Egypt, we do know that this is the route. Now, you and I are going to show people geographically, because some might be at home going, oh, come on, Ross, how do you know they went this way?
There's no way you can prove that.
Well, I can tell you, we probably can.
Pretty much does.
Because if you look at the lay of the land, they didn't come over those mountains.
You want to cross those mountains? No.
You're not going to do it. No. If you want to go that way, you're not going to.
And you know what?
It's a way.
They had something here, a big tree. They had trees here.
Yeah.
That must mean they have.
Do you think, even though I took pictures of it, do you think if we walked around in a few minutes, we could probably, take people and show them?
I think we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah. All right.
Because you need to let your voice rest a little bit.
You think? Yeah. I have 7 days, because you and I, by the end of this, we might be sleeping on different sides of the desert right now.
It's a big desert.
It's a big desert. No, but we actually have had some incredible experiences here, and I can't stress to you enough what it's like being here.
I know
thinking about. Definitely. Oh, definitely. But we also, let's talk about the locals. Here's something else. We had on day one, we drive up, and we hadn't been here that long, and the neighbor, Muhammad, shows up. Tell them about Muhammad and where he lives, and I'm going to step out just for one second.
Sure. If Muhammad approaches me And I'm looking at this man, and I, of course, have read the instruction manual that came with this place. I had to do something on the plane in the weeks coming up to this, so I read all this. So I knew who Muhammad was. I knew where he lived. He lived in a tent. So he approaches us, and he has a broken telephone, a cell phone, and he wants us to try to get the ringtone back on it. And I'm like, I'm really not that savvy on this stuff, but I was able to help him out and get that going. He needed firewood. He's a needy fellow. Come to find out, he's my age. Come to find out, he was born in a tent. Come to find out, he still lives in that same tent. I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah, Muhammad was right there. We got to meet him. Another neighbor, the crocodile person, he is 2 months older than me, and I got to meet him, and we just hit it right off. We got to share some little life stories together, and I set foot off of this property one time to go to the little store right down the road. You can see it from here, and the fellow that manages the store happened to have lived in New Orleans for, I think 10 years, he said?
Yeah.
10 years. Well, I lived in New Orleans, at Chalmette to be exact, for 10 years. So he loved it. He just spoke. And I walked up to the counter. Have y'all ever seen Steinfeld, the Steinfeld show, the soup kitchen?
Yeah.
The Nazi kitchen guy?
Yeah.
This is what he looked like.
Yeah.
And we stepping in line, and he in this area, in this country, they're real passionate.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking in Hebrew back and forth. I'm going, oh my gosh, man. This is scary.
Yeah.
Next, so I walk up there with a picture of what I want, because I can't speak Hebrew.
Yeah.
So I have a picture of what I want, and I point to the picture. He looks at me and says, in perfect English, starts talking to me.
Yeah, we've learned a few things like in Hebrew. So my conversational Hebrew is not good at all. But one of the things that I learned how to say, and I'm going to teach you some Hebrew now. If you say "ani rotze,"
who that?
No. "Ani rotze" means I want, and then you can point. So you say "ani rotze" and you point, and they go, "Oh, okay, yeah, here you go." Most people, though, that we've come across speak perfect English. Some of them are from Louisiana,
right?
But it's fun for me. Do what?
What's the connection with Louisiana?
I tell you, it's strange. It's really strange. But there is a connection with Louisiana here. Yeah.
Their eyes light up.
But we are in a very, I want to say, not only is this site significant historically, if all we said was, hey, look, there was a spice route here and there used to be, let me tell you about the well. Now, here's the interesting thing. When we're driving around, you're going to get to go with us. All of you are going to get to go with us. But when we're driving around and you see the name of these places and it's in whatever, like for instance, in Hatzeva. I would normally have pronounced that Ein Hatzeva, like a well of. But why are all these places called well?
Good question.
Now, this is interesting. Because you're in the middle of the desert, man, but it's significant. So the native Israelis, I'm listening to them, and they don't say Ein Hatzeva. That's Louisiana. They say In Hatzeva. In. It's real quick. So, but we're in a place where there are wells, and I started today by reading Isaiah 35. It talks about the desert bursting open. Nahalim. Unalim is rivers. So there are going to be wells coming forth from the ground. When Lawrence of Arabia, in his journal, he says that when he approached this area, the water was so intense that he could hear it rushing. Now think about it. We're on a place that has water, evidently, in this soil.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was talking to the crocodile.
Yeah.
Ophir.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll get it. Ophir. I'm going to have to rename him again.
No, he ain't go for
He's telling me how many meters down the water is.
Yeah.
He knows. he has thermal water.
Yeah.
He has water that's, I think it's 120 degrees,
Wow.
85 Celsius, something like that.
Yeah.
The figure in there, 85. So he knows about the water. He's telling me there's one of the biggest water sources in the world.
Yeah.
Under Egypt and part of this land right here.
Gotcha.
That's where he gets his water from. He has a closed system.
And he said that the crocodiles actually love it
They have
because
to
of
have
the warmth.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons he moved here.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons he set up his shop here.
Yeah.
So to speak. I mean, he had grants from the governments were helping him conserve, have a conservation.
Right.
Because he told me straight out, he hand caught most of those alligators.
Yeah.
He grabbed them and brought them.
They were littler than the ones I saw when he caught them. He's a big guy. Here, let's do this.
So the water source.
Yeah,
Here,
so there's
here.
water.
He's using it.
And even if those stories never happened, I would believe that water is under us because of Isaiah.
It is.
And you're telling me, yeah, that's what they say. The water is there. Let's do something with our friends all over the world, and kind of show them around this room, and not necessarily read them.
Actually, yeah. No,
Right.
sorry, go ahead.
Show them, just kind of give them a glimpse of this room, and then what I'd like to do. It may not work. So if we lose them, you're a man of faith. You're going to say it's going to work.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do is maybe even go outside, and I'll bring my flashlight.
Here's what I want to do right off the bat. This is going to be really, really good.
Okay.
It's going to be, watch this, people. Stay tuned for a second. Watch this.
Okay.
There's our floor.
Isn't that pretty? It's the building we're in.
This is the British building, and half of this floor, let's see, you're looking at what's close to us, where Ross is standing right there. From his point to me is the original floor. From his point back is a floor they had to replace it. They found a man that made these tiles, and they're not quite as good as the old ones. They're not as bright. I don't know if you can see that line right there, Ross, but I just wanted to show that.
Yeah.
So here we're going to do this. We're going to
Show them David Horowitz first, and then we'll just quickly go through the others.
So we have moving pictures. I'm not too good with this, but here's what I'm going to do. Bear with me for a second. I hope I don't hit the wrong button here.
Please don't. Hello?
Okay. What's up? Testing.
Okay.
I'm good now.
All right.
I'm good now.
So now you're gonna you're just gonna show them, and they're
Yeah.
watching. Do you know they can see us?
Yeah, I'm positive. Well, I can if you give me a second, we can do that. Watch out, because we are live.
Okay. I don't want to mess with it, but
I'm gonna get over here and so I can see the chat. That's all. We're back. Okay.
good. Okay. So we're trying to do technology, but we're also trying to do some things that are a little bit different for us. I always throw curveballs today.
Right.
But these are nice, very well written, and maybe James can tell us for sure, but I'm almost positive that our friend Don Smith wrote these. He's a very precise historian. And so he did research, and of course, this is our David Horowitz, and it's a brief biography about David Horowitz, and it talks about his life as an ardent Zionist and UN correspondent and so forth. So it's just a brief bit of his history.
Okay, give us a second real quick.
Okay.
Let everybody get back on. Video is black. Does anybody out there see a picture? It's gonna be tough for me to, but that's good.
Are they saying the picture didn't work in the video?
No, they're saying it's good. It ought to be good.
Okay.
Okay, yes. We're good. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. No, I want people to see. So many of you who know history will know some of these people. Like I said, I'm not going to go into details. Lord Balfour. Now, some of you know of the Balfour Declaration.
Where's your phone at?
In 1917, on November the 2nd, Lord Balfour wrote a statement on behalf of the British government. Coming out of World War I, the British people had control of what was then called Palestine. So he writes this, and you can look it up online. It's called the Balfour Declaration. And this Balfour Declaration was on November 2nd. So we are approaching the 100-year anniversary of the Balfour Declaration. Now, James and I have a secret surprise that's coming later. We're not going to tell you about it now, but there's something that we're working on that's significant for United Israel and this particular date, November of 2017, but that's got to wait. So I'm just going to walk around the room, and you kind of get a feel for the way this place looks. This works great for synagogue, as some who used it, or for webcasting, as we're using it today. We have General Allenby, and James Tabor has written on Allenby's triumphal entry into the Holy City of Jerusalem on Kislev 24. Now, some of you might not know this, but on Kislev 24, which happens to fall on December 24th this year, David and I intend to be in Jerusalem for that day, but who knows what's going to happen, right? I mean, we don't know. So we're going to walk around here today. You can see Thomas Edward Lawrence, and you can read this particular story. If you look around, we have Eliezer ben Yehuda. The revival of the Hebrew language is attributed to Eliezer ben Yehuda. We have David Wilson, born in Lithuania, and worked closely with Theodore Herzl. Some of you know the story about some of these early Zionists. Over here, see, these are just people that are significant in the building, basically, what led to the modern state of Israel. We have William Heckler, Theodore Herzl. Everyone knows Theodore Herzl. Basically, if you've not read his book, I recommend it. I mean, if you read his book called Gutenstadt, he had a vision for a Jewish state. And ultimately, Herzl's vision came to pass. Tragically, he didn't live to see it. We have Alfred Dreyfus. You can see this particular person's story was very significant in launching Theodore Herzl into action. And it caused him, when he saw this trial that took place against Dreyfus, what happened there, he just realized that he could no longer sit still. He had to act on behalf of the Jewish people. Then we have over here we have and then finally we have President Harry S. Truman, the 33rd President of the United States. So whenever we walk around this room, this building basically represents people that were significant in what we would call the modern era that led to the founding of the Jewish state. So I love this building for that reason. As I said, there's some wonderful write-ups here, and we might publish a list of those people in case someone wants to go forward and do some research. Now, Dave, do you want to try to walk out here?
I sure do. I have the settings on the it looks like I'm going right, so that's why it's kind of shaky there.
Okay. I have a flashlight, Dave. Okay.
Good. We're stepping out the door.
So we're walking outside into an observation point. This is actually where we can, I don't know if the camera can pick up the lights on the highway, but you'll see cars traveling on the highway, and we talked about in Isaiah chapter 35, it talks about a highway there, like right in the Arava. And sure enough, here's a highway that runs north-south. If I were to walk straight this way, I would arrive at Basra. So I'm literally pointing towards
They can actually see the light.
Yeah. So if they can see the lights, this is what's so significant. Actually, I was too far to the left. This is not it. It's right over here.
Yeah.
Remember? The smaller grouping of lights. And what I think is so powerful about this is this week, at times when I was able to relax a little bit, and I've been reading Isaiah 35, I've been looking around me and sort of like we did the other morning where we put the...
Barely see the lights on the hill. Yeah.
We put the maps out and so forth. Now, what I'm going to do, Dave, can you navigate stairs?
Sure.
All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go slowly.
What I don't want to do is blind you and you can't see.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm not going to look at it.
Yeah.
Because what I'd like to do is show them technology site at night. And Dave and I walk these. Watch that bump.
I'm good.
Dave and I walk this area at night.
I'm going to stand here.
It's one of our tasks to do a perimeter check. In case we run upon someone or something. Are you going to come all the way? I want to get down in.
I want to do something real quick. I want to see if it works. Yeah. Shine down there. Yeah. Actually, the picture's not bad at all. With these I'm good. I'm good.
So we're just going to walk around and show you how beautiful it is out here at night. It's cool. It's probably in the 50s. Now, you can tell that this was a tell.
Mm-hmm.
All of this, for the most part, was covered in dirt prior to working in this particular area. And then as they uncovered it, they began to discover all of these significant rooms, as you'll see when we walk down. We'll take them and show them that cool tree as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to keep them from getting sick.
Yeah.
By the camera. But I'm good. I'm watching my feet.
I wonder, can they see that well there?
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the beautiful parts of Biblical Tamar Park. At night and in the day, you see these trees. And this tree that we're going to walk up on is one of the oldest trees.
Get closer to it, yeah.
Hmm?
Get closer to it.
Yeah. And it's, people disagree on how old it is. It's hundreds of years old. Some people believe it's 1,000 years old. But either way, this tree has been witnessed to quite a bit in this area, as you can imagine.
Wow.
There is the building we just came from. Up on
Let me turn and watch that. Look at that. Yeah. Get the light off it for a second. Take the light off of it for a second.
Oh.
Okay, I just want. Well, the lights went out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I want to see the lights showing. It's automatic lights, and that's one of the deals there.
So you'll see as we walk down, this is pretty vast. It's a pretty big site of archaeology, and they have in this place Solomonic gates, they're called. During the 10th century BCE, you can see areas that have been excavated that date back that far. When I was here in 2010, this area that I'm shining the light on now, James was here. It was one of his tours, and we actually took the site out. Here's our, well, we'll always see the stars. I know they can't, but man.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by that tree just so they can kind of get an idea of how big this thing is. Oh, didn't mean that.
That's okay.
Right. So you can see it's pretty
It's
big.
huge. It's huge. I'm going to get a little closer.
Big tree. It's called a jujube tree. And did you remember any? Was there something else? This is designed. This tree is made to live in the desert.
Yes,
so,
yes.
It doesn't require so much water, but
It actually makes an edible berry.
Does it really?
It sure does.
What time did it come out? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Right.
But it looks like, yeah, right there. is a flower. Getting ready to, it's getting ready. So I'm assuming it's either an early spring
Okay.
berry.
So that there's a walking ramp around. Dave and I came out one morning, and they had some people that had set up a little coffee.
Yeah.
They were having a little coffee in the morning. They were sitting here, and so we can walk completely around this tree.
Sherry says this tree will grow in Louisiana also.
Who said that?
Sherry.
Really?
I need to, let's see for a second. Go blind here for a second. I need to change hands. Much one hand could do. There we go. Oh yeah, that feels brand new there. In my camera, this laptop is it's a tablet, and it's on the mirror, so when I turn left, I'm going right. So it's really disappointing.
We're sort of in the midst of the tree here.
Yeah.
The branch is
I'm trying to do something here. Okay, we got this. I am. Oh, it was perfect timing, Ross. Okay, back on the ground.
All right, so this is pretty cool. We can now that we're trying this, and when we get the camera.
Yeah, we're gonna light that, and I bet somebody's looking at us from a distance, going, "What are those Louisiana boys doing now?"
Look over. This is the lower camp down here. So people that want to come to Israel with us and stay in the desert, this is a place they can do it. So it's hard to make that.
It is. It's hard to get the perspective at all. It's hard to do that on a good day.
David kindly asked, how old is the tree? There are debates as to the age of it. On the sign, it says that some say that it's 1,000 years old, while the more there's another group that says 300. So I don't know. I mean, the sign records both.
Get it? Would you like?
Okay. But the sign records. Yeah, we'll have to do this during the day, huh?
Yeah. But they're sleeping, Ross.
That's right.
We can record, and that's what we've been doing. Is recording and taping it, and we can, as we get time, we'll show it up. Go ahead.
Let's try one thing, because I know we have all night, but what we could do is we could turn it off.
Let's do it.
Let's just try.
Okay.
Let's just try.
We're gonna give you. Let me get my problem is.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not a good idea to turn it off.
We're gonna try one more thing before we
Can you see up there yet?
Where?
Can you see sky? Because my eyes are blind. I got the screen
in
in my face.
Yeah, if you turn that light off.
They're going to go black for a second. And
it's hard to imagine.
I'm going to go black for a second here too. Don't hit the wrong button, Dave. Now, let's see what we got.
See him?
Because I can't even see him on my eyes.
Okay. Well, this is a good try. We're just testing things out. We were hoping that somehow we would be able to show you the number of stars. But it's really clear tonight, and maybe we'll just do this.
This is totally. You guys are learning like we learned. Because we did not try this. We did shoot some video with another camera. It was pretty good, but that was not moving around.
So what do you think, Dad? You think it's good for a Shabbat? Just sort of.
I think it's good. I think it's real good.
All right. Well, what we're going to do then is we're going to tell you Shabbat Shalom from the Arava, and Shavua Tov. Have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week from us to you, wherever you are. And I do want to tell Krista one other interesting thing. Krista is my friend from South Africa. If she's still on, we have 3 flags that presently fly here over Biblical Tamar. One is the Israeli flag, one is the American flag, and the third one is the South African flag. So sort of a connection there for Krista. But we've had a wonderful week. It's been an eventful week. We've had very little time to do anything but just catch one miracle after another. These meetings that we're having are quite incredible, and we hope to keep you informed. Please follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and stay tuned, because we're going to do things that are live, but we're also going to do things and post them later. So
what a lot of people say, do follow us live.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shabbat Shalom, Shavua Tov, Ross and Dave signing off from the wilderness, from the Arava. See you later.
Man, I can't possibly hit the button.